Hi everyone, this is Jared Lantern, and I'm here with a prop review video. In fact, this is my first prop review video of the year, and I will be reviewing from Morbid Enterprises. This is the giant red demon. This is not a 2020 prop, this is actually from last year, but let's go ahead and take a look at it. Here he is in almost all of his glory. Hello. Kind of tilted to the side there. Now, I'm a pretty big fan of Morbid Enterprises props. I know a lot of people think that it's one of the, I guess, cheaper kind of companies out there that make props. I actually am a pretty big fan, and there's not too many of their animatronics that kind of slip by my radar when they are released or mentioned in whatever year they're released, but for whatever reason, this one totally was lost on me. I never even heard about it. I just happened to come across it one day while doing some searching on Amazon, which is actually where I also purchased this. And I usually just go on Amazon, once in a while, just plug in the search of Halloween props, just to see what kind of stuff pops up. It usually is stuff that I've never seen before, and this definitely is included in that category. I'd never heard of this guy before. Again, giant red demon. I had seen the video, and very similar in animation and motion movement as a few other props that we've seen in previous years. That kind of circular bouncing back and forth, kind of like in a circular / square motion, like twitching banshee, or we've seen one. I'm not sure if it was called the thrashing clown, but Spirit Halloween released one with the ghost, and they're all very kind of similar in style of movement. Of course, twitching banshee, moved really fast, and most of the other ones move pretty slow, and this one moves, if not as slow as the other ones, the slowest of any of those similar props that I was talking about. But in terms of the prop itself, I thought it was pretty interesting. The composition itself is pretty basic, and we'll get into the specifics in just a second here. But the composition of the way the prop was made and the features that are highlighted, literally, I thought really captured my attention, and I think would capture the attention of any guests that would come through my haunt. So with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at the specifics of the giant red demon. So pretty basic setup, as I stated, just the typical metal frame on the bottom with the two legs connected together with 4 poles, and then they will eventually meet to the module, and then the waist bracket and the shoulder bracket, etc., etc. And taking a look at the module in the back here, you have the basic AC adapter, volume control, and then the on-off try-me, and of course speaker and sensor towards the back, which, as I've stated in many videos before, I do not understand why the speaker and the sensor are on the back of the prop. Just makes no sense to me, but whatever. Here is the hands. So these are pretty typical hands of Morbid Enterprises prop. We've seen this before. Kind of like skeletal, thin, veiny hands. I really like the fact that they went red with the hands to complement the chest and the head. One thing I am not a fan of is I wish they would have taken the time to put just a little bit of Velcro to connect the hand to the sleeve. So I'll definitely be doing some on my own, but you know, why not? Why not just put something to hide the styrofoam arms in there? And same as you can see with the other one. In fact, this one, he has one arm is longer than the other, of course. Coming up, looking at the front of the prop, we have, now these both light up. The head and the chest both light up. The chest and the head are the same kind of material. They're just not necessarily thin plastic, not necessarily thick either, but it's pretty durable, much more durable than, say, a Spirit Halloween props shoes, which tend to be very flimsy plastic, but not hard plastic either. So it's somewhere in the middle of there, but I understand it does have to be pretty thin for it to be translucent to show the light that does shine through. And then there is the creepy face. I really like the paint job on the face. They did a really good job with that. And as you can see, the head tilts to the side very aggressively over here, and that is because of the spring that you can see in there. Maybe you can't see it, but it's in there. It's super, and pardon this really expert terminology, springy, and it will kind of go back and forth very aggressively with a lot of thrust. And in fact, when I had turned it on, I thought he was about to headbutt me at one point. And the spring itself, the base of the spring is made of plastic instead of metal. So I don't know if that has something to do with how kind of extreme the movements are for the head compared to other props. But speaking of the movement and animation, let's go ahead and turn him on and see him in action. So there he is, you guys, the giant red demon. What can I say? I think this is one of my favorite props that I've bought in quite some time. I love him. I think he's a really, really formidable, awesome prop that really could go with any theme. I know we say that about a lot of props, but this one truly could go with any theme that you may be doing. As you noticed, the animation sequence is extremely short, maybe 5-6 seconds long, which is fine with me. The sensor works really well, even though, like I said, it's located on the back. It does work well, so it'd be easily set off throughout the night. I think that's a lot better than just having it constant on. And of course, you have the option for the try-me, the step pad. The lighting effects I think are great. I do believe the LED lights are red, along with the chest and skull or the headpieces, so it really enhances that really rich red color, which, as you can see, I did it both in light and also with the lights off. And I mean, could you imagine putting this guy in your window at night? I think it would look so creepy and so awesome. One thing I also noticed was he's quite a bit taller than the other similar props that we talked about earlier, like the twitching banshee and the ghost and the clown. I think those kind of like topped out at about, I want to say 5'4", 5'8", 5'10", something along there, and he's actually a good 6.5 feet tall, which is pretty nice. Maybe 6'5", something like that. But close enough. But he is a really good prop. I definitely recommend him. Again, this is from Morbid Enterprises. I picked mine up at Amazon. You can search it there. I believe I paid. It definitely was under $120. And it was Prime, and I got it within a couple days, so you can't beat that. Free shipping. And what else can I say about him? But it's a great prop. I'm glad I was able to discover him finally after a year. Never knew he existed. So that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Oh, and by the way, I decided to no longer do like a scale rating for props. Just my words speak for themselves. I either recommend it or I don't. I obviously do with this one, and see if it works well for you or your haunt. And so my review is what it is, and so I'm not gonna really do a rating system anymore. So there you have it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you're seeing, please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, keep it creepy.